personal. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. So, I've never made a video in my entire life about Jahi Tucker. I've known who Jahi Tucker is for a while because obviously I watch top rank undercards. I watch undercards for all the promotional companies, so you know I can know who a fighter is for a while before I make a video about him. But he's finally, I think he's done enough last night for me to finally come out here and make my first Jahi Tucker video. So shout out to Jahi Tucker. He had a great fight. I think this fight yesterday was fight of the whole day in boxing. It was the best fight on the Matchroom card. It was the best fight on the Top Rank card. It was definitely much better than that travesty known as Roy Jones Jr. versus Anthony Pettis on Game Bed Promotions. You know, that was out there in Milwaukee. But Jahi Tucker, this is a fighter that, you know, he turned pro as a welterweight, and he's been gradually working his way up to the 154 division, you know, and this is a fight that he wanted for a while. He took on the Georgian fighter, big, strong, solid, sturdy, Nikoloz Sekhniashvili, okay? And I'm familiar with Nika. We call him Nika because he trains out here in South Florida. I'm familiar with Nika because I've seen him down there at Santano Sweatbox Gym, and he's a strong fighter. You saw it in those first two rounds. He was hitting Jahi Tucker with everything but the kitchen sink. And those first two rounds were so tough for Jahi Tucker. You kind of ask yourself the question, you know, if this continues for 3 or 4 more rounds, how much of this can he really withstand? But like I was saying on the live, and I'll say it here, Sekhniashvili is very explosive, and that initial, like when you're fighting a guy like him, his style will always shock you right away. But he kind of reminded me of a lesser version of Ivan Baranchyk, because I remember years ago, Ivan Baranchyk, same type of build, short, stocky, explosive, throws everything real hard. And if you get touched with it enough times, you will get knocked the hell out, and you'll get your face rearranged. But after a couple rounds, you get used to the speed of the punches, and it becomes easy to deal with. So that's kind of what I saw with Jahi Tucker. And as the fight went on, you know, he really started to get used to that the pressure that Nikoloz Sekhniashvili was putting on him. And you saw a guy that with a lot of character. I think in this fight, more than any of his other fights that I've seen on Top Rank, he really, it was for this being his 10th fight in his pro career, I believe to date, it's the signature performance of his career, because he went in there and he really showed a lot of grit. He showed a lot of craft. He showed a lot of skills. He showed power. He showed pretty much everything you look for in a fighter in this one fight. Got durability, speed, power, a chin, footwork, everything. Volume punching, everything. He was able to step around Nikoloz Sekhniashvili as he got into more of a rhythm. I mean, he got very comfortable in that pocket. So I don't really say this a lot about young fighters, but I'll say it about him in this particular fight. I was very impressed, because it's not easy fighting a guy like this. Especially, mind you, right? Nikoloz Sekhniashvili was calling him out. You know, he was calling him out, and Jahi Tucker answered the call out. And when the time came to perform and answer that call out in the ring, he answered it in a major way. So, yeah, he's definitely someone I think, you know, in the 154 division for Top Rank, you gotta look to the future for, because he's really good. He's really good, and more so than that, I think the commentators put it great. I think it was Bernardo Osuna who might have said this. He said that this kid Jahi Tucker, he's got a ring presence about him, and he does. You know, you can see him talking in there. You can see him kind of like talking trash to the opponent, but not really to get into the opponent's head. It's more sort of hype himself up, and he was doing it mid combination. So I like him a lot. I like him a lot. He's got dog. He's got a lot of grit, and you know, there's a lot of good fights out there for him in the Top Rank stable. If they want to keep things in house, they got some good fights out there for him. Like most notably, the fight that he wants, and I'll make a separate video about this. But the fight he wants is Xander Zayas. Be a hell of a fight. You got that fight. You got Troy Isley, who I believe is a 54-pounder as well, but don't quote me on that. I believe he's 54. That'd be a good fight. There's some matchups out there for Jahi Tucker, and I think after the performance he put on last night, I think when Top Rank actually has a card on like regular ESPN where there's more eyeballs and people don't have to pay for a subscription service and go so far out of the way to watch him fight. I think he needs to be on that card. He really earned himself, I think, a big opportunity, and I hope Bob Arum and the fine folks at Top Rank give him the opportunity he wants. Really impressed. Nikoloz Sekhniashvili, I think that version of him would have knocked out a lot of young fighters. Like that version of him last night, especially early on, would have knocked out a lot of young fighters, but not Jahi Tucker, because Jahi Tucker, as he showed, has too much tools in the toolbox. He has too much grit, too much determination, too much skills, too much power. And the old saying in boxing is that class tells over time. So a guy could be dominating a fight early. He could look good early when his gas tank is full. When that gas tank depletes and he doesn't have the stamina that he did in the early rounds, can he still show his class that he showed in the early rounds? And that's not what happened. The longer the fight went, the better Jahi Tucker looked. And if the fight would have went 10 rounds or 12, if it would have been like a 10 or 12 rounder, he probably would have stopped Nikoloz Sekhniashvili, because Nikoloz Sekhniashvili was very predictable in his attack. And on top of that, when you factor in that, if you look at the punch stats, as far as punches landed, he was landing like 30, 40 punches the first 2 rounds. But then it significantly lowered after the first 2 rounds. So obviously Jahi Tucker has to clean up his defense and not be too brave for his own good, because that will get him hurt and stopped against the guys like, Xander Zayas or just better 54-pounders. But just an overwhelming amount of positives to take from his performance against Nikoloz Sekhniashvili. So yeah, great fight. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Go check out the highlights, and definitely check out Jahi Tucker. And I'll definitely be making a video about him and Xander, because I have a lot I want to say about that, but it deserves its own video. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.